going back to Icardi, I hope that we don't sell him. But if an offer comes around for 150, 180, 200 million,
yeah, 400. Are you crazy?
The same game we all worship, keep fighting, we're rising, it's all worth it. Brothers and sisters, together staying strong. Within this boot is where we all belong. Different color, same game we all worship, keep fighting.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV. I feel like it's been a little while since we've all been together. A little new year, new us, right? 2019, the first episode all together.
You us.
What's on your mind, Dad? You've been quiet for a little while. We haven't seen you. The people haven't seen you.
I know. I went on vacation.
Everyone's been asking about you. They thought we kicked you off or something.
Yeah, well, how did Ludovico do?
Ludovico did good. Everybody loves Ludovico.
So am I out?
No,
I think you out because you are always on vacation.
Hey, why don't we guys vote and see who you guys
like the Survivor. Survivor.
Yeah,
Hey, guys, vote for me, okay? Vote Antonio.
Wait, vote
Vote
Antonio.
Antonio.
We said we were going to vote
Gotta
to
vote
get
him
off.
off.
Vote me to stay.
How many? 5?
Yeah, vote for 5 stars, okay?
I actually texted Ludo. He was in Italy. He went to go see Napoli Spal and a few other games. And I said, Ludo, the people loved you. I said, we got to get you on again. And he's like, oh, you did something without me? I was like, yeah, we've been doing it. He's like, oh. So we said we're going to get him back on, right? Yeah. Anyway, the other night, we all went to play except Peter. And afterwards, we went to a nice Greek diner. Definitely a Greek diner, right?
Probably.
And we got into a good conversation about the transfer market. You know, there's been a lot of moves. Serie A, the transfer market open.
Excitement.
We talked a little bit about some of the ones that happened already that are going to happen in January, and also a little bit of the future ones that I think we all want to discuss. First things first, let's give our congratulations to Muriel. We know Muriel has been a part of IFTV. He's been on our channel. One of the first pros that we really worked with. So happy to see him back in the Serie A.
Back in Italy.
He didn't go to your Milan. You know, he was smart. He's like, listen, let me go to Fiorentina. And he already scored in training today. And Muriel's back. He's back in Serie A.
You're going to put on this podcast maybe
What?
a little bit a clip
Of
what
what
yeah,
we did?
interview.
Yeah. We'll
You can
link
put
it
a
up.
little bit. It was a nice, good
Yeah, it was
interview.
good. It was good. Muriel was amazing. So I'm happy to have him back. And I think he's got like that hunger. He did really good at Samp. You know, they always thought that he was going to make that next step in Italy, and he ended up going to Sevilla. Didn't really work out over there, but I think the Italian style works well for him. Lecce, Udinese, Sampdoria,
He likes the Serie
and now
A.
another Italian
I'm
team.
excited
And
to
just
see how he does.
for the people that didn't see that interview with Muriel, just to tell you what a nice guy he is, while these guys were going after the interview at the stadium, they were going back to the hotel, and they were walking to get the train. Muriel happened to leave with his car, and he saw them on the street walking to the train station, and believe it or not, he invited you in his car, and he gave you a ride.
He drove us 45 minutes away from where he lived.
Yeah,
It was crazy. He was nice.
great
But
guy.
it's also just because he said, he's like, you guys were very cool with
Yeah.
me. I never had journalists that were nice. So
That's nice.
Yeah.
You know, for a profession of that level, you know what I found about all the players that I've met from Juventus, Milan, Roma, and the national teams. What I found is the highest level of professionalism that you are, and the better player that you are. Most of those players are very humble. You know, and they get down to your level, and they talk to you like I'm talking to you now, and that's
great to hear.
Yeah,
who was
that's
one of the
nice.
best for you?
One of the best for me is Paolo Maldini. You know, I can talk to him like I'm talking to you. Ciro Ferrara is another guy. Bruno Giordano.
I'm thinking of another name.
Sergio Brio.
You know who I'm thinking about? With the ponytail?
Of course. And the greatest of them all, Roberto Baggio. He's at that level. You know, where you meet him, and you can talk to like I'm talking to you now.
Buffon too. I feel like he's.
Yeah.
I feel like
Buffon,
he's like
but
that.
I never got close to Buffon.
Didn't you say when you were with Baggio, a few people came up to him asking for pictures, and it was almost like he was more excited to take a picture?
I asked Baggio for an autograph. You know, after we were, he was thanking me. Because thank you, Gaetano, for asking me to sign something. I was like,
What were you thinking?
I was like,
He's a gentleman.
And people that they were stopping him while we were together, and they were taking a picture. He would thank them. He goes, thank you for asking me to take a picture. that's the
ve-
kind of
that's
guy
nice
that
to see. Yeah,
Baggio,
that's great.
And people like Maldini and those. It's great that I had a chance to be with them because of how how they are. So
It's awesome.
It's interesting. Anyway, we're happy for Muriel that he's back in the Serie A,
Forza Viola.
and we get to watch him a little bit more.
Too bad he didn't come to AC Milan, but
What do you need him
we
for?
got too many. We
You
got
got,
too many. too
who's your
many.
guy that you got that you don't stop talking about? That,
Paquetá.
but you've never seen this guy play.
You watch. You just
Did you watch a
He has a
game?
feeling. He
I
has a good
watched him.
feeling.
I watched some highlights
On
about him,
YouTube?
and I trust Leonardo.
YouTube?
Leonardo never fails when he picks up somebody, and you don't
Are you
pay
sure?
$35 million plus $10 million bonus for somebody that is not really going to be a superstar. The kid is a superstar, and you're going to see it. It's going to be painful for you, Pete.
Hopefully,
It'll
that's
be
been a long
painful.
time waiting.
It'll be painful
Milan
it'll be painful
hasn't been
for
relevant
a
in
lot
a
of
while.
defenders. It's going to be very painful. I'm
you
sorry.
guys got the money?
you got
You got the money to pay for
this
this?
guy
Is it
here
real bank
is going
bonds?
to be worth $300 million the next
Oh,
couple
Oh,
of weeks.
yeah.
All right.
Or he's going to turn into Gabigol.
I
Which
know.
one? One or the other?
I know that Inter's got the money, but I
Milan
don't know,
picks up
but-
winners all the time. Okay?
all the
We
time.
can tell.
Like what? Higuain is going to do a second. He's going to do the 2019 is going to be a great year for Higuain.
I don't
Higuain
think he
is
might
hope
be
so.
playing, though.
Or is he going to leave? Are they going to do the Morata Higuain
both.
swap?
It's going to be both. In other
Wait,
words,
how's he going to leave at
he's
this
going to
grade?
score a lot of
That's how
goals.
good he is.
He's going
And
to
then he's
score a
gonna
lot
leave.
of goals, and then we'll get rid of him, and we'll get a lot of money. So he's going to play dividends for his.
But you're not going to get any money. Juventus is going to get the money. 'cause
No, he's
you
not
don't own
getting-
him.
No way.
It's on loan.
It's on loan.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want him, you got to pay 36 million.
No, I don't think it's worth it.
Well, what if you're gonna
It's
sell him
gonna
a
be
big
great.
money?
You can keep him. Sorry.
There's a lot of rumors right now about Morata, who's not doing well at Chelsea. I know he scored in the FA Cup, I think 2 goals, but there was a clip going around. It was right in front of the net, hits it over the net. I mean, it was very hard to even hit it over. They say maybe Morata is going to go to Milan and Higuain is going to go to Chelsea, where Sarri has been wanting him. What do you guys think about that?
I'll take him. I'll take Morata.
You would
anytime.
rather Morata over
yeah.
Higuain
Morata by far.
because he's younger?
No, it's not younger. He's faster. I
Well,
think
he
he's
is younger.
smarter. Morata is a great player. Morata, he has not failed on the big games. I've seen Morata play in the big games. He never fails. the
He
game.
does. He has
On
always
the
turned
big
up.
games, he comes clutch all the
It's
time.
true.
He's
No,
the-
he's
he has
right.
those
And the
spells-
Champions League final for Juventus, he was
But listen,
the one that
he
had
has
no
those
fear.
spells that he's extremely quiet
does.
for like a big amount of times, and that gets to him. He doesn't
But in
have
the
a lot
big
of
games, he
confidence.
does always come
Morata
up.
on
He
the
does.
big game is always coming true.
At least in Juventus.
I think Higuain, if he has a good relationship with
Gattuso.
Sarri,
Oh, Sarri,
he
so.
might do well in Chelsea. Even though Chelsea, I don't know what they're thinking. They just paid $70 million for this guy Pulisic, which is a good player, but is not worth $70 million.
Dad, I already explained to you why they
Uh,
paid for him.
And if that's
Jersey sale.
if that's
Jersey
an
sale.
indication that Hazard is going to leave, that's not good for
But
Chelsea.
I told you, Pulisic is the opening in the market for Chelsea to market in the United States of America. That's why they buy
Okay,
him.
we're talking about marketing. We're talking about
Both.
We're talking
getting
about
your
money.
team
Both.
better. You're not going to get your team better if you get rid of Hazard and you get Pulisic.
I agree with that.
Okay,
But
Your
I'm just
team is
saying
not gonna be better.
the 75 million, maybe 45 is for the player and 30 is for that they're going to be able to market in the United States. To me.
Okay, but we're talking about one of the top teams in the world. If I'm buying somebody, I want to make my team better. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm sure they have a plan. Chelsea's not a stupid club.
I
man. The
don't
thing
know.
is, though,
not
Pulisic.
sure.
Real
plays
Madrid's
on-
going to need to buy Hazard. I mean, look, they
Pulisic-
lost today 2-0 to Real Sociedad.
Peter, we just taking up what Marco was saying right now. Real Madrid lost 2-0 at home against Real Sociedad. So this is telling me that the transfer is done already. Hazard is going to go to Real Madrid. Hands
Most
down.
likely. Hazard
Hands
was supposed
down.
to. Hazard was supposed to leave this summer.
You
The
s-
fact that he's still
yeah.
at Chelsea was
You
is a
see
miracle.
Florentino Perez's face. He was sitting on the royal box over there on the stadium. He was like, he wanted to kill somebody. He was just like.
And these guys, they
frozen.
just won the world champions as one of the teams. That
You
tells
can't
you.
lose at home. to
Yeah, but
Real
you know
That
what it
Sociedad,
is,
tells you
that-
the
2-0.
type of club
And it
what
should have
they-
been 3.
And
Should
what
have
do
been
they
3.
want to accomplish?
Yeah,
They want
but-
to be to the top. They want to win every
The
game.
Club World Cup is a joke. Okay, they go over there. They didn't even verse the
Against what?
the
Against
team.
a bunch
They
of
verse the
people.
Ari-
Even though
Well,
people,
Champions League. They
No,
won
the
Champions
part
League,
the
so-
part that was difficult was winning the Champions
Yeah,
League.
yeah.
Then the being world champion
Well,
is
Yeah, it
Most
doesn't
of the
mean
time,
anything.
99.9%, you play against the winner of the South America.
this
which
year
is
the-
which is a good
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Because it's usually a good team. It's either a team from Brazil or it's a River Plate.
Mm-hmm.
It's Boca Juniors. So it's always a very good team or somebody from Colombia, whatever. But this year it happened
Yeah,
that
River
River
lost.
Plate, after what they did against Boca Juniors, they screwed up with. I think they even missed a penalty against this team.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I think I watched it a little bit. Anyway, let's get back to the transfer in Italy. Who else is coming?
Okay, so the big name right now that they're talking about is Barella. Barella
Milan.
from Cagliari.
He's
They
coming
say
to Milan.
the reports say between Inter, Chelsea, and Milan is a little bit of a side to say what they say.
No.
It's more than a side.
Just to
What
state
is
the
going to be
facts.
doing in Juventus,
Cagli-
Barella, sitting on a bench?
I never said
say
Juventus.
Juventus.
I said Inter,
Oh,
Chelsea,
Inter. Oh, Inter. Oh, wow.
and Milan. Cagliari won at least 50 million.
They're saying
to
40 or
start.
50, yeah.
45,
What
50
about
million.
Napoli?
Napoli, I don't think
Apparently,
that,
they
that
said
is
they
gonna
have that
rejected
money.
Napoli's offer, but Napoli's gonna come back with a better offer.
Napoli,
But
there's
a
some
lot of
other news
And we're
with
speculation.
talking about 45, 50
45
million?
to 50 million.
It's worth the kid.
Not for. I don't think that this is for January. I think they're talking more about
Yeah.
January or June. June is the.
And let me just add that he's the captain of Cagliari, right? And he's been playing with Azzurri, with Jorginho and Verratti pretty
worked well.
seamlessly, and he looked
No,
very
he's
good there.
he's
And
one of the
and
most
he's young.
talented Italian
When
midfielders that we
I
have.
don't know if you guys remember, but I commented on this, and they say all the young players that are on the national team, he's the one that
Yeah.
impressed me the most.
I like him a lot. So Pete, what do you think? You think that Inter could sign him? They need him. We know you need a midfielder.
Yeah,
what
at
do you
least
think
one
of him?
midfielder.
You're
What do you
kidding me?
think?
They got Borca Valero.
No, Borja Valero.
Come
Come
on.
on.
No, I think Barella is definitely one of Italy's promising young talents, but he's already shown in the past couple of years that he can compete in Serie A. He's as Cagliari's captain, one of Cagliari's best player.
Azzurri player.
You know, this
think they wait
this,
until June,
this
Pete. What do you
kid
think?
this kid is a hustler. It's gonna be definitely in June. It's not January.
Yeah.
Cagliari is not
They're
gonna
not
lose
do
him
that, yeah.
in January until there's maybe a big offer. But for right now, it looks like June. 45-50 million is a good price tag for a player of his caliber, especially where we see that transfer market right now it's a bit inflated. Yeah. So no, but the thing
It's
is,
an understatement.
the thing is, what's going to be interesting is if Inter's able to make the offer and seal the deal now for June, because then if they don't do that, I think in June it might be a lot harder
A lot more
if
competition.
he has a good second half of the season. So Barella, I think, is by far one of a top midfielder. Looks like a Nainggolan in the way that he can score 10 goals. He's a hustler. He breaks down defense. He's nonstop. So it's a player that Inter definitely needs, especially as we don't have that type of player at a young age. So
I don't
it'd be
think
nice to see.
I want to see Barella stay. Like I said, I think that there's no doubts about the quality that he has. And I think that considering what the market goes for, 45, 50 million,
That sounds
yeah,
reasonable.
it's inflated. But there's also players like a Paquetá that we've never
Exactly,
seen
no.
play. That's also
You gotta base
45
it-
million,
you gotta
which is
base on
crazy.
the mercato
Anyway,
now.
Yeah.
the only thing I'm scared about is that Chelsea have money.
Exactly.
Chelsea also need to make kind of like a signing because they're not doing, the best right now. And he would fit the Saudi
Yeah.
mindset.
Well, that's
And
the thing too.
Sa-
Saudi
as-
is an Italian coach, so he's watched
Barella,
Barella.
you're
He
talking
might go
about
Barella.
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 He's got already Jorginho. What is he going to do? He's gonna
Barella's a
double
different
up?
player.
Yeah,
than
but they
Jorginho.
play together just like in the
Imagine
national
they get
team.
two and they
I
got
think
Verratti
that
too.
between Conte
maybe,
and what's the other guy, Kovacic. Kovacic, I think they are looking for a midfielder. They're linked to a bunch of midfielders. I think Barella could be that perfect link there, and I'm scared that they would have more money to spend.
Yeah, like I said, I think if he has a really good second half of the season, there's going to be a lot more buyers
Yeah.
out there that might want to
And the
snatch him up.
price.
Yeah, and the price go up.
course.
We
So
say 45, 50 million now.
If Inter is smart, they
Get
try
the
to
deal.
negotiate now, get the deal done.
In
So for
January?
that way,
No,
no,
no.
but I'm saying for June.
For June, okay.
Yeah.
But you get the deal done now. You guarantee
he-
Cagliari a certain amount of
Pre-contract,
amount of money. Also, you have a great youth system. We've seen in the past what they did with Nainggolan. You're able to give a player on loan or
Yeah.
option to buy, and you're able to
I don't think
facilitate.
Inter is going to go into this deal here. I'll
Well,
tell you the reasons why.
Marotta's a big fan of him, so
Marotta, I don't know. He's a washed out guy. He's just been, listen to this. I think that if Chelsea can spend $70 million for Piontek, I think they have
For
enough
Piontek.
money.
Piontek.
What was his name?
Pulisic.
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 For Pulisic, I think they have enough money to sign Barella.
Barella.
They have
And
enough.
maybe-
They have
yeah,
300
maybe-
million to
maybe-
sell.
Not
The guy
for- not
Abramovich is
45
got
to-
money.
Not 45 to 50 million. Maybe
More.
they'll give 60 to 65 million dollar to the kid. Watch.
Nah, it's a little too
It could,
high.
it could end up getting there by the
Watch.
time that we get to June. Anyway, another guy Inter are signing, and I think that this is a huge transfer. A player that Juventus was adamant on last year before they got Bonucci, and I think that this is where you see that Marotta is taking some of those guys that he wanted to get at Juventus that maybe didn't go. He's already got that connection, and they're going to sign Diego Godin from Atletico Madrid, the center back. I think he's, what do we say, 32, 33 years
33,
old right now.
yeah.
He's going to
February.
be a free transfer come June. They're not going to pay anything, but they're going to pay him $6 million over 2 years, option for a third year, and they say by next week he's going to sign and do the medical and then join in June.
Peter, what do you think of this?
Amazing,
How old is
amazing.
he?
I think 33.
33.
That's not a good move for me. I'll tell you the reasons why.
Okay.
And then I'll let you do it, Pete.
Okay.
When someone like Simeone allows a world-class player like Godin to leave without not even try to keep the guy another year or 2 years, that means the kid is done.
He's been holding on to him for like 2 years.
He is done.
I
He's
don't
at
think
the
so.
end. Okay, so he reached the peak. Now it's little by little. Now he's gonna have to just starting to do this, and then Inter is gonna take him, and then they're not gonna be able to sell it to anybody because he's gonna be.
No, they definitely won't
they won't
resell.
sell.
They're gonna.
Peter, what do you think?
No, free transfer. I mean,
Quality
this is a
defender.
smart move by Inter, especially with Miranda. There's a lot of talks of him wanting to leave because he doesn't have the starting position. You have De Vrij, Skriniar. The only thing I'm scared of is I'm hoping that Godin isn't we're not getting Godin because we have to replace him. I mean, we have to
Skriniar.
replace Skriniar.
Yeah.
This is my only worry. But
I think Skriniar is gone too. This, that's one of the things that I forgot to say it. The reasons why Inter is getting Godin is because I think Skriniar and both, either Miranda almost 100% is going to go.
Miranda is most likely going to leave. But Godin, like I said, he's a world-class defender. He has experience in Champions League.
He's a leader.
With Atletico, with Uruguay as a captain. And he's definitely...
He's
a-
ruthless.
he's a player that
amazing.
you want. He's a player that you want. Is he going to have the great seasons of years past? It's still to be seen. But he off the bench, I think he can be a solid replacement for De Vrij and for Skriniar.
Especially De Vrij's
You just
injury-prone player,
You just
too.
had the right thing off the bench. I think Inter right now is it's a nice boat. They're starting to get water, to just getting a lot of water
But-
inside.
Well, you need
That-
a deep bench.
No,
So what
you
they
do.
do now, they're trying to plug some of those holes. I said, okay, this guy's gonna leave. Let's plug this one here. This guy's gonna leave. Let's find something.
Yeah, but
They
that's
can't
how it is all
yeah.
the time. Every team is built
So-
like that. You have to have your skeleton.
Yeah.
And then from your skeleton, if you're going to be making Champions League, you have to have depth. You have to have
But
players
Pete,
to
you
be able to
guys are
replace.
letting people of a high caliber go.
Who?
Skriniar.
We're
How
not
can you let
letting
Skriniar
him go.
He's not
He's
going.
gonna go.
I just said I wasn't. I'm not.
He's gonna go.
All I
I'm
said
telling
was
you. The
I
guy's
hope it's
gonna
not
go.
to replace the
Yeah.
Skriniar. I hope it's to replace Miranda.
Yeah.
Right now, Skriniar is happy where he is. There's talks that there's money being
And he's
offered
gonna
for
renew.
him, but doesn't necessarily mean
And
that
he
he's
se-
going to go.
and he said he's
It
happy
depends
there.
on what Inter wants to do and what
The
type
ambition.
of offer is being made. If it's a 90 million offer, I'm sure Inter's going to consider it, and they're going to, evaluate if it's the right move.
That was one of the things I wanted to bring up was a lot of Manchester United fans right now, they're looking in Italy and they see, Godin go to Inter right away. Skriniar's coming to us in January. It's not the case. Skriniar's not going anywhere in January, just to say. And I do think that Manchester United, we know their defense. Now Manchester United is doing well with their new coach. I can never pronounce his name. But anyway.
That is not Mourinho, right?
It's not Mourinho. They won again, and they want a defender, and the two guys that they're linked to are Skriniar and Koulibaly. Two top, to me, in the top three best defenders, along with Chiellini in Serie A, and possibly
Maybe
the
they're
world.
all-
Aren't they linked to Manolas
Maybe.
also?
They are linked to Manolas, so they like a bunch of different center backs. I know De Laurentiis already said, he didn't say it, but the newspapers say if he gets 100 million, 120 million, he's going to sell. And he's going to be willing to sell Koulibaly. Even though Koulibaly says, I feel Napolitano, maybe he could push it a little bit. But I think that this June, it's a little bit worrying for me with the Serie A players, namely Skriniar and Koulibaly.
Yeah.
If we can keep them.
Listen,
Skriniar not as worried. I'm more worried about Koulibaly.
100 million, 120 million for a defender. That's
That's
absurd.
yeah, it
you
is.
you
It's
you can
crazy.
get a top player for that amount, or maybe 20 million more, right? Not to say Koulibaly is not your top player, but as a defender, value-wise, it's not the same value as a star striker or star midfielder.
Has saved
Yes,
Napoli
but-
so many times.
But he's saying historically,
But
it was
his-
always attackers
besides
that always more
historically,
valued.
he's not going to be the one. You can find, it's easier to find a replacement defender than it is to find a replacement star striker.
I
You
don't
know?
know. I disagree.
I believe that.
I agree with
disagree.
Marco. I agree with Marco.
What do you think?
No, usually in January, you're not going to get a big deal like that. They usually wait for June. I mean, you get some transfer, but not $100 million transfer. Some of the other young players that Gazzetta was talking about, and it was on the front yesterday, just to give you some names, and then we can comment. These are all young players. Anderson is 22. Sam and Juve and Inter after him, 25 million. We're talking about euros, sorry. Pellegrini, 22 from Roma. Juve, Milan, like him, 30 million. Barella, 21 from Cagliari, Inter and Napoli, 50 million. Milankovic, 23 from Lazio. In July, everybody's gonna bid for him. 60 million Piantek, 23 years old from Genoa.
No,
Juve
not yet.
and Napoli, they like him.
No.
He's not there yet.
Donnarumma, 40 million,
No,
19
no way.
from Milan. He could go.
You're like at 250 million. You're kidding
To
me?
where?
He
You're
could
kidding
go
me.
outside of Italy. They don't say
What,
the
they didn't
team.
say?
Nobody's going
This is Gazzetta, by the way.
Nobody's
Now-
going to let Donnarumma go.
70
Maybe
million.
Antonio Donnarumma.
70
Yeah.
million. 21 years old from Fiorentina. Chiesa.
70.
He could go to a top club.
70 million.
That's a lot of-
70 million.
That's
Yes.
a lot of
And
money.
they don't say which club. And one which I thought this is outrageous anyway. 90 million for Skriniar, and everybody wants him. 30 million for Romero, 20 years old from Genoa. Inter Juve won him. And the last two, Kwame from Genoa, 21. Napoli likes him. And
Napoli's close to
Sensi,
signing him.
Sensi Milan wants
Sensi.
20 million is with Milan. The one that really, to me, really 90 million from Skriniar.
I don't think it's that crazy.
You know
No.
what?
I mean, 90 million is a
I
lot.
think it
but-
has to do with
Dude,
who's
nowadays-
out there that wants
Gaetano, I
him.
can
So
see,
when
I
you
can
have,
see
Manchester
Juventus,
United
I can
wants
see
him, Real
Juventus
Madrid
going
wants
after
him.
Skriniar because Chiellini, believe it or
nah,
not,
they're not gonna go after Syria.
Yeah, they're not.
Chiellini,
It's not gonna happen.
1 year, 2 year top. I think 1 more year is going to be.
I don't think
going
1
down
year.
south.
I think
1 year's a little
two.
bit too
Nobody
much.
in Italy is going to pay 90 million
For a defender.
Yeah,
for a
not in
defender.
Italy, not in
Maybe
Italy.
if they go.
I think
away.
I know that Paratici, he didn't. Szczesny actually has a show kind of like this. He does this with in Polish, and he brought Paratici on, and they asked him did I bring this up before? Maybe I
No.
did. Maybe I didn't. They asked him, what's the hardest position to find right now? What do you guys think he said? Paratici, Juventus director.
Mid defense, center
A
defender.
fullback?
Fullback.
It's got to be a forward.
I say left back.
What'd you say?
Defense.
He said a fullback is one of the hardest right now. And he said that Juventus did really well getting Cancelo and Alexandro. He said we always look to these Portuguese. But he said on top of that, he said usually it's a fullback. He said, but now with the football that we're getting into, it's a center back. He said center backs today are becoming so much more technical. And he said, I don't mean to be complaining about it, but you are losing the ruthlessness like a player like Chiellini had. He said, we don't produce in 2018, we don't produce more Chiellinis, and we produce more, I don't remember the example that he gave, but a more technical center back. And he said for Juventus, it's very, very challenging to replace a Chiellini more so than it would be to replace another position, which I do think.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of agree with
I mean,
that.
the game is changing too. The goalkeeper revolutionized over the years
He
too.
talked
They had to
about that
play with
too.
the ball at the feet. I haven't seen it, but
Gaetano,
It was
just
good,
over
it was
the
good.
To
years.
get back to your 90 million is too much for a
Skriniar?
defender. I'll tell you the reasons why I don't agree with you. Koulibaly not only he saved many desperate situations for Napoli, and those are goals that you count as well. The goal that you don't get
Conceded
the people to score on your own net. Those are goals that you have to count. And this guy here can score too. This guy has scored.
He scored against
Cool.
Juventus
I'm
in the
saying-
most important match.
Koulibaly can score
I'm with you,
goals,
Anto.
can defend.
But
and
we're not talking about
He's saying
quality.
Skriniar.
We're talking about
Skriniar.
90
Skriniar.
million.
But
that's what I'm saying. You guys have to look for Skriniar to replace Chiellini, because Chiellini is at the end too. And Koulibaly, I'm telling you, his value $90 million. I don't
it
think
wasn't 90 million. Skriniar was 90 million.
But
Skriniar's
Koulibaly
90
should be more
Koulibaly is
than
100.
But the thing is,
120 or
like
something.
I think what you said too, Skriniar, as far as ruthlessness, he's one of the
there.
most physical
Yeah.
players. When he plays for his national team, he plays center midfield,
Yep.
so he's technically good for the ball. So that's why I guess his value is so much higher, because they you know, one-on-one, he's hard to beat, and he could also you know, bring up the ball from the back and
Yep.
move the ball. That's
He's a
another thing I think
beast.
De Vrij is so great at technically as a defender. He's amazing. He always puts the right pass, and you know, that's what the next.
defense wins
What
the
they
game.
want.
I think like
But
Marco said,
I'm
the
sorry,
most sought the more sought position in the best team, it's the center back.
Yes, but you have to remember, because a lot of times it's not just about the position, but and how he plays on the field, but also on the marketing standpoint. So you're going to spend 120 million, let's say, for Koulibaly. Meanwhile, you can find a top striker for
Yeah, that's
150.
true.
See, like, you're able to find the easier replacement that on defense. Where, okay, Koulibaly is going to save you how many goals? 10 goals, let's say. You'll find somebody that's going to save you 6 or
And
7
make
goals.
you.
You know? But as a striker, if you get somebody that scores 30 goals every season compared to somebody that scores 15,
Yeah.
there's a big difference there. And also the attention that he creates and everything else, and the jerseys that he sells and he scores.
Speaking
and
about
everything.
attention, let's talk about Chiesa, another name that you were talking about. Today they were saying that Napoli put in 50 million for Chiesa to try to grab him, which would be a great signing to replace a guy like Callejon, I feel like, to keep Chiesa in Italy. But I don't think 50 million is going to do it. I think that he was one of the guys that I said in 2019 to really watch out for, because I see him exploding, and I hope he does, because he has a lot of confidence. Where do we see with Chiesa?
I don't think it's worth that kind of money.
No?
I love Chiesa. I feel like he's one of Italy's
does he
hottest
score?
talent.
I mean, he
Forget
scored
about
against AC
scoring.
Milan, but-
Forget about scoring. Look what he does during the game.
So
He
what?
he has the confidence to take on a player every single time. And in 90 minutes, he's running the full 90 minutes.
But the
He's
numbers are
young.
not there.
No, but the numbers still have to come. The thing is, Fiorentina right now, this year hasn't been like the greatest of years, but last year,
To say the least.
he was a fire player, and I think, listen, he has a lot more to give if he just learns how to become more of a goal scorer. But also remember, his position is farther away from the goal. He plays more of like a left wing midfielder. So you know, the same way like Insigne in the years past, he didn't score as many goals as you know, Ancelotti has him playing closer to the goal. He's scoring more goals already. So we don't know yet. But I think as far as Chiesa's concerned, I think he's a fantastic player. Still has a lot to learn, a lot to develop. But I would love to see him on Inter with Chiesa coming from the left and Politano from the right.
Not for
That's
70
that's a
million.
dangerous.
Not for
70
70
You
million
still
is-
think,
it's
yeah,
a
but
lot
It
of
is
money.
it is a lot to invest, but I think come June, a lot of things can change from January to June. And I know we have heard Juventus, Inter, Napoli. Abroad, I'm not sure who's interested in Chiesa, but he's young. He's young. He's starting to play on the national team too. There's a lot more hope going into him, and I think, like Peter said, I've always said this too, there's just a hunger from Chiesa where he doesn't really have a fear, where I think a lot of the Italian players we do have now look scared inside big games or look scared to take on his man, where Chiesa doesn't show that same quality.
I like
me.
Chiesa, to be honest with you, but I feel like he has improved himself entirely. Yeah, he actually played for the Azzurri, played pretty good. I like how he runs in the box and stuff, and is not scared to do some tricks and all that stuff. But 70 million is a lot. I do think he's gonna prove in the future, but right now I don't think he's worth it. He's way too inconsistent for
So,
me.
but what does he have to do to prove?
Be more consistent,
And
because
put the
there's a lot
numbers
of games
down.
he's
Score
invisible.
more goals, Pete. He's
But
not scoring.
score more goals. So you want your, let's say for example, if you had your left midfielder, right?
$70 million.
I'm saying a left midfielder. How many goals a left midfielder is supposed to score?
The guy's un attaccante. Whether
Yeah, but he
comes from
doesn't
the left or
play.
from the right. You
He
want
doesn't
the
play.
score.
He doesn't play close to the goal.
But
Around 10.
He
maybe
plays like a left
8.
winger.
Listen,
He plays like a left
He plays
wing.
like a left winger.
if I were to put
Look
Chiesa
at
and
all the
Barella, I know
left.
they're two
Look at
different
all the
players.
left wingers in Serie A.
Keep going.
Who tell
Keep
me
going.
who's better than him?
Listen to me. You put me Chiesa and Barella, and you telling me that Chiesa is worth $70 million and Barella is worth $50 million. I will take Barella in a heartbeat.
Well, it's two different positions.
Not for the money, because it's cheaper. Barella to me is a much better
two
player.
different positions.
Listen, Barella can score, and it's not a forward.
How many goals? What's the goal difference between
He can
Barella and
score
Chiesa?
and he's not a forward.
Guys, you're comparing two different positions.
Yeah, but
The
70,
guy-
we're talking about money
the
here,
guy-
Gaetano. $70 million for Chiesa is too much money.
The guy
$40 million
is
would be a
young.
good price.
He's 21 years old. He's young. He's got speed and he's got skills. What else you want?
What do you think
Exactly.
about?
That's what I'm
What do you think
saying.
about
in
the whole thing?
a young, he's a young
50
player.
to 70 million.
Yeah, it's probably worth. I mean, if we see Pulisic is worth 70 million,
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
where are we? Where are
It's
we
the
going?
market that
Then
we
Barella
live in.
should
I've
be
never,
worth the
the
same
market
money.
that we live in.
I've never seen Pulisic play a great game, much better game than I've
Come
seen
on.
Chiesa play. To be
This-
honest
this-
with you,
Well,
This
you gotta
guy-
see how many games did you see both of them play? You
Okay.
gotta-
probably very
yeah.
similar.
This
I mean,
guy-
obviously
on.
Chiesa a lot more, but
The important thing is that when you one-on-one, you take on the player, and not and there are some forwards that don't do that, or if they do, they lose a ball. This kid, he has no fear. He's one-on-one on the wing,
That's
on
true.
the right wing. He'll take on the defender, and he's got the speed and he's got skills. So the only thing that he can do, he can improve from where he is now.
he has learned already. I know he's been under controversy because he falls a little bit too much, and that's one of the aspects of his game that he said he wanted to improve upon. Because he's tricky inside the box, and a lot of times they could hit him. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what he does. Let's talk about Juventus a little bit because they have gotten. It's not official yet, but it's basically official. Ramsey from Arsenal, a guy. Do you have the numbers, by the way, Mike?
This season, Barella had 1 and Chiesa had 3. I'm trying to look from last season though to be more accurate. Right now.
Ramsey, who's a player from Arsenal who I haven't heard of in, I feel like, such a long time. All of a sudden, his contract's ending in June, and PSG, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, everybody, Juventus, all wanted him. It seems like he's going to be joining Juventus. They're going to be paying him a lot of money. I think $7 million a year. It's a free transfer, but they're also paying the agent $10 million on top of it for, I guess, negotiating and for him to go to Juventus. We know Juventus needed a midfielder. I've been saying this for a very long time, right? I wanted a midfielder in January. I was thinking a midfielder like Milinkovic-Savic or a Pogba. They're getting Ramsey, who is more of a technical player, but there are a few problems with this. Number one, to be fair, I haven't seen enough of him, right? Number two, I've heard many times that he's very injury prone, that he's missed so many games throughout the seasons for Arsenal that when he does play, he's very good, but the games that he does play is not enough because he's always injured. Anybody know a little bit more about Ramsey?
Before we throw this in, I just looked at the goals. Chiesa has 6 goals and Barella also has 6 goals.
Hello,
In the past 2 years.
English.
No, last season.
Last season.
Yeah.
Okay, Ramsey. Let's talk about
saying.
Ramsey
You want-
from Arsenal.
No, Aaron Ramsey, like you said, he's very injury prone. He's been injured a lot. He's one of those players that he gives a lot on the field. He's able to join in on the attack, English style football, not afraid to make a tackle, and he's technically gifted. I think he can do very well at Juventus because Juventus are missing that player where maybe last year.
What happened with Dybala?
No, he's a different position than Dybala. Well, whereas Khedira, for example, used to make the runs into the box. Ramsey's a more elegant player, and he can make those runs, but also know how to finish a lot better. The only thing is the injury scare is something to really think about because he missed a lot of games over the
Why
years.
are all the big teams don't want him?
Is he Juve material? Yeah.
Why do all the big teams? Why are all the big teams after
I don't
him?
know
Is
too
it,
much.
is it
transfer has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But
is it
has
that
he
there's
shown
a free
that much
transfer?
at
I think
Arsenal?
to me, I think that it would be an interesting signing. But if it's a replacement for Khedira, and then there's another player coming on top of it. To me, if this is the guy that you're going to get instead of Milinkovic-Savic or Pogba or one of those guys that Juventus really need, then it's not good enough.
Yeah, but the thing is, look at the price difference. Free transfer, Pogba, 200 million.
Okay.
So
Don't worry, Juventus got money, just like you guys.
they have money, but the thing is that the reason why everyone's looking at him is because he's a good player and he's a free transfer. It's very important for financial fair
Is he
play.
that good? That's my
If
question.
he's a replacement for,
for
Khedira
zero-
just signed
for
an
$0,
What's
extension.
his salary, Marco?
7 million, yeah, something like
But
that.
Pete, then you put Dybala. What is the
No,
situation?
Dybala
Dybala's
has
a
nothing
different
to do with
position.
that.
Yeah,
Dybala's a different
yeah.
position.
The different position.
Yeah.
Ramsey can play like
Ramsey
center
plays
mid,
within
right
the
mid.
center
midfielder,
midfielder.
and he
Yeah.
comes in
What do you
to
think
join
about
the
this?
attack.
No, I don't know enough about Ramsey to make a comment. I
fair.
haven't seen him play that much, so I cannot really comment. But that player, yeah, probably Khedira is also very injury prone. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy misses a lot of games every year. Emre Can, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Too is in, is out. So maybe those two. and they're looking in that position so that they can have somebody, like you said, go inside, because Juventus is very well on the outside. I mean, on the outside, you got Cancelo that becomes a right wing. You have Alexandro that becomes a left wing. You have Douglas Costa can be a right wing. You have Quadrado can be right and left wing. Bernardeschi is a wing. So on the wings, they're very, very good. You need somebody that goes in between the wing and the center forward. They makes that run, which Khedira has done it in the past, and he scored a couple of goals.
But Khedira is, even though Allegri he loves him, but Khedira's not Juventus anymore.
Well, you need
because he's always hurt. I mean, he's got the potential, he's got the skills, but
with Bentancur, Emre Can, Khedira, Pjanic, Matuidi,
all defensive.
These guys, they're all, besides Pjanic, who is a top player for me, the other four, they're very similar in what they do. They don't do anything great.
How about Matuidi, though? He's a workhorse,
he's a workhorse, but you need another guy in there that pushes up.
You wouldn't
like
put him
saying.
on the level, though, of Pjanic?
You named 5 midfielders.
Yeah.
5 excellent midfielders. What do you need this guy here for? What do you need this guy?
No, I agree with you. I don't know if he's really that step up. Like I said, we don't really know him. Anyway, whatever.
What I will do? I will have to be honest with you. I think Dybala is underused in Juventus. I will just
drop him into midfield.
Yes.
I don't know if he does defensive
I will make him play the
responsibilities.
Pirlo. I will make him play the Pirlo position in front of the defense, and then let him come up and just dictate the tempo of the game for everybody else.
Tactically, it's going to be impossible.
Move Pjanic up
from Regista. Now he's going to play up. They're going to leave a big hole in the middle.
I will move Pjanic up and put Dybala behind everybody. I don't know.
Antonio.
Yeah, you don't know.
Antonio, you'd be sacked.
I hate to say I hate to see Dybala wasted on Juventus.
Where is he wasted?
I want to come to AC Milan.
Listen, we're gonna
Dybala, you're listening to us. Come to AC Milan. We got a position for you.
I'm saving the Dybala talk because I know we're going to talk about Dybala and we're going to talk about Mbappe, which is a big conversation that we had before. And Antonio, we all have very strong opinions on that, but I'm saving it until we get done. Robben is another name that's linked to Serie A, to Inter.
That's
next season on a free transfer. Another guy is leaving Bayern Munich. Injury prone, older, but I still think
He's
that it
good.
I still
He's
think it would be a good.
I like
real
him.
quick, what do you think about Robben? You like this?
Robben is a top player. I wish it was 5 years ago.
Thank you.
I mean,
you can have everything.
if it's the fact that it's a free transfer and he's able to help the team and he buys in to the team mentality, because he's usually, I'm not going to say selfish player, but when he's on the field, he always loves to just hold on to the ball and stuff like that. But if he buys in that he's going to be part of this team and he's going to be one of the older players that's going to help, be more of a mentor and help the team grow, and the fact that they want to start being relevant in Champions League, then so be it. If he wants to be a starter every single game and he's not going to be a team player, then we don't need him. But it's always interesting to have a center player like that.
Those guys are ready to join the over 50, the Brooklyn Italian. You're telling me they're going to be... you guys are making a team full of old-timers. You just don't get rejected. I mean, they were a great player in the past 5 years ago. It's over.
Listen, sometimes if...
Don't spend money. Don't waste
That's what a free
money.
Transfer means.
Free transfer.
But the point is...
pay a salary.
Listen,
Yeah,
Juventus did it with Pirlo. Juventus did it with Pirlo, and it worked out fine.
But Pirlo's a guy who played more with his head than his body.
Yeah, but Robben is a world-class player.
But Robben used a lot of his
Godin
speed.
is a world-class player.
No, they are. I'm
So-
with you. I'm with you.
Like I said, if
I don't
it
think he's
doesn't-
going to play with
or
you,
anything, but I
Antonio,
don't
in the
know.
park.
I'm
think
with
it's
you,
just
Peter.
speculation.
If he's in the whole ecosystem, if he wants to be a mentor,
You know what? A
Go.
free transfer here is in New York when you're waiting at a bus stop and you're going to go from Brooklyn to Uptown and you get a free transfer. That's it.
That's the only thing that's free, right?
That's free.
And that's not even free
You're
'cause you
still
gotta
paying a
pay
lot
the
of money.
ticket.
You're
Paying
paying a lot of
salary.
money.
Salary.
You fill up your roster with
if-
the people that they're going to be underused, and then you create problem
Yeah,
on
but
the
you
locker room.
always need a bench. But that's what I just explained. If he buys into taking a bench role, that would be great.
You know what I think
A
will
guy
be
that
a
can
factor?
come in for 15 minutes and score you 2 goals.
You know what I think will be a factor? Godin is not a question mark because Godin can play under anybody. But who the coach will be at Inter is a little bit up in the air. Not to disrespect Spalletti.
Well, I would love to see Mourinho back in the
But,
Inter.
you know,
Oh
we've
my
heard
God.
that there's some options that could possibly be depending on how Inter end the season. And I think Robben's one of those players who can't be decided until you really know who your coach is. Because he wouldn't fit under a certain, coach.
Hey, by the way, Mourinho didn't take the job with the Benfica.
Benfica, no.
So that means, is that something that you know you don't want to share with us right now, Pete? Just tell us.
Benfica, Mourinho might be able to coach now the Brooklyn Italians.
Oh my God! I don't think it's
I would love to
qualified.
see Mourinho
Would you
as your
take
coach.
Oh my God!
Would you take him at Brooklyn
I
Italians?
don't know, but we'll talk. We'll talk.
Listen,
So you're open to
question about since we're talking about Inter, we're talking about Robben, because I think for Inter and for Robben, it's important to know what's going to happen to the center forward and the forward line. Is Icardi staying with Inter?
That's a good point.
I like I told you many times, I like Martinez. I saw him playing with Argentina, and I think this kid has got
Lautaro.
Lautaro Martinez. I think he's got a lot of potential. But what's the story with the center forward?
Oh, Icardi right now, we're still in the process of renewing, right?
They said
In
that
the
there's not
process doesn't mean anything.
They said
process.
that they
No,
still
the-
don't have a meeting yet.
Yeah, but the thing is, it
Vanda's playing
doesn't
hardball.
change anything because you can renew and you still be sold. The fact is, he definitely is the Inter's top scorer, the top striker. Lautaro Martinez, I agree with Gaetano. I think he's a fantastic player. Based off of what I've seen, I'm not going to compare him. I don't want to compare him, but Sergio Aguero is the first player that I thought of when I see him because he's short, low to gravity, is a hustler.
Aguero coming to play on Inter?
No.
I'm saying Lautaro
Lautaro.
Martinez
Oh, okay.
looks like that type of player.
Okay.
And he makes the right movement. He's very smart, right? But going back to Icardi, I hope that we don't sell him. But if an offer comes around for 150, 180, 200 million,
Yeah, 400. Are you crazy?
these are the numbers that are being said.
Well,
Real Madrid,
you mean-
especially Real
you
Madrid.
mean,
Real Madrid is looking for a striker.
Crazy, Pete.
Real Madrid.
You mean Icardi and Vanda together?
Oh, they're a
$400
package deal.
million.
They're a package deal.
Not just
That's a steal.
It's
400
a package
million
deal.
for Vanda.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. So Icardi right now is a striker on a lot of people's board. So
Yeah, no. I mean, look.
I
look
would
at
love
Real
to be able to
Madrid.
hold on to him. But if a big offer comes, and like I said, Real Madrid's looking for a striker right now.
This is one of the
It's-
guys that we
it's gonna
talk
be
about a lot too.
difficult to
And
keep him.
I know it's speculation, and maybe Vanda, she is playing hardball with what she's saying with the negotiations, whether they do it or not. I think that Icardi, I just see him going to Real Madrid in the summer. I do.
Me
As
too.
much as I don't want it to happen because I want it to stay in Italy, I think that there's all the ingredients for him to go there. Number one, I know he was a Barcelona youth product, but number one, Real Madrid need to score goals. They're doing really bad. Our friends are Real Madrid fans. They can't even watch the game. Benzema has been done
It's
for
the
a long
perfect
time.
substitute for Benzema, Marco. This
He's
guy
the
here.
perfect player for Real Madrid. He fits their mindset. They speak Spanish. I feel like he's very marketable, which we know that Real Madrid take a huge account into. They've signed plenty of players like James, Vinicius, just so that they can market them. And I think that he's got all the ingredients, unfortunately, to be at Real
It's
Madrid
not
next
happening.
summer.
It's not happening.
I was talking to ex-Serie A player about Icardi.
You're not going to say who it is?
We'll keep it confidential.
Confidential?
No,
Don't say it. Don't say it. You don't want to say
doesn't
it.
matter. But he played for Inter, fullback.
Now we're all running through names.
Wait, so
we discussed this, right? I know who he's
He's not
talking
Italian.
Oh,
So
write it down.
so we spoke
Nagatomo.
about no, we spoke about Icardi, and he said that for him it will not be a good fit for Real Madrid because Benzema, what happens? He comes out of the area. He comes out, and when he comes out of the area, other players go inside and they can score. Icardi, most of the time, he stays inside the area, and he is very good inside the area. Once he comes out of the area, he does not really set up the play. And if you guys remember Benzema, many times when he came out, the Ronaldo went in. There was the 1-2.
Yeah.
There was a lot of 1-2 with, and a lot of the goals. That was his opinion.
Yeah.
Just to
I'm
know,
not too
I'll,
sure
throw,
about
I'll
that.
throw it out there.
It's a different style of player. I think Icardi is more of an old school number 9, where he's in the area, he stays on the last man, he doesn't really join in on the build up play. But the fact is, he can score you goals. He's the hardest
ball in the
player
middle.
to mark in the middle of the box, and he'll find a way to score. Build up wise, no, he's not going to be able to get the ball from midfield and try to dribble somebody or make something happen from his feet. That's 100%. That's why I've always said Higuain, as much as you hate him or love him, whatever, he's able to join, get the ball,
Right.
and go straight up
Yeah,
with it.
I agree.
You
It
know?
depends the day if
So-
he likes Higuain or not.
It's just it's a different type of player. Not to take anything away from anybody, but like right now Real Madrid's in the market for a striker. If they get Kane, Icardi, these are the names that are out there,
And they got the money.
and they have the
definitely
money. You know,
Listen,
So-
for all the stuff that we've been saying over here about Icardi and Van Danara, I mean, Van Danara, a lot of people, they think that she's just because she's his wife. This kid here, Van Danara, I think she's one of the best managers so far. You know what she's doing right now?
Better
She
than
doesn't have to do
Raiola.
anything.
Best agent.
She doesn't have to do anything. She's
Wait
got the
a
perfect
moment.
client. He
Yeah.
doesn't stop scoring goals. She doesn't have to do anything.
Easy. Listen to me. Listen to me.
I can be the manager.
Yeah.
I have no clue what I'm doing.
You're
Go,
not listening.
go.
You're not
Okay,
listening.
let's
All
listen.
right, we'll listen.
What she's doing right now, she's triggering this bidding war. In other words, you see the way we are getting angry about what Icardi is going to do, 90 million, 200, 400 million, 600 million.
You said 400.
Van Danara, she's listening to all of those things, and she's not signing anything with anybody. Because at the end of the day, she's going to say, hey, are you ready to sign? I want this much here. It's either yes or no. There is no negotiation. This is what I want. End of the story. If you cannot pay this, we'll talk at the end of the year. She's a very, very, very smart manager.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you have a player that Marco just said keeps on scoring, it's quite easy when you can say, listen, this is the player, you want him, this is the offer. You don't want him, we'll send him to this team.
Because
They
Inter,
playing that anywhere.
Inter can't say, listen, he's not scoring, so we can't really talk
Listen,
about this now.
Icardi should be
He's
making.
scoring.
If you look at how many players are making so much money,
That
who's
aren't
the
even
guy?
as good as
Rabiot.
him.
Rabiot moving to Barcelona, 10 million. I mean, Inter's trying to negotiate down from 7 or 8 million that Icardi wants to like 6. I mean, he could easily be making 10 million at Real Madrid or at Chelsea or any other place he wants to. So I think that that's one of the big factors.
Gaetano, I have a question for you. The biggest signing of the best player, when are typically done? Are they typically done during the Christmas season?
No.
Or when?
Cassano moved in January once, didn't he?
No, I just said it before. It's,
Said it,
it's
June.
usually not during the break.
I don't think we're
Yeah.
talking. We're
We're
not
not
talking
talking
about
about
What
this
I'm
year.
saying, what I'm saying for
just
you
to say.
let me rephrase my
You're
question.
talking about the transfers?
No, the extension of a contract of a player. Are they normally done during the Christmas season when?
Listen, it's usually done the year before. If you really want this player to stay with you, if you wait until the final year, then it's a free
It's already
transfer.
done, yeah.
Then the guy is free. So what you do is you do the year before. Yeah.
But today it's
So
so
that
different.
if you want to,
It's changing.
if you want to
Yeah.
keep the player, yeah.
It's changing so much, though. I feel like the renewals are coming so
Right.
rapidly.
Yeah, a lot of times they
But
renew just to,
sometimes
Yeah.
also when you renew, then the team that buys him knows exactly how much
Yeah.
money he's making. So sometimes they do that too. They renew. Okay, you're set, and we sell you. Then the,
It's hard
the
to
new
say.
That was
team,
my second question to you.
Then the new team
Okay, so
knows
you
exactly.
already
Read your
answered my
mind.
question. He's already answering my question. What they do, once they know that the player is going to be leaving, they jack up the price, or even on the renewal, because they know that this is just this number here is going to be money coming into their pockets when the transfer will take place officially.
It's different. A lot of times, if the player has a certain contract,
Yes.
right? Let's say he's making 12 million, then his value, even though it might be high, is lower than if he was making 6 million.
Yes. Well,
So you have to play with the numbers in a way.
but you know what they do? They do this artificially inflating the
Yeah.
numbers of the transfer, the players that they are into the transfer window, and then the sellers, they benefit from the bidding war that triggers to
Of course.
yeah. So I don't know. We
He
just hope
answered
that,
your question.
Yeah,
He got your question.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into what I wanted to talk about, and I think it's a long-term vision. It's hypothetical. We've heard some rumors about it, but it's hypothetical. Dybala. We got into a big conversation and a big argument about Dybala. I think we all had different perspectives, to say the least, of what Dybala should do, of where Dybala should be. We know this first half of the season, I would say that Dybala at Juventus has been a little bit strange, right? With Mandzukic and Ronaldo playing really well together and linking up together, and Allegri really preferring them two together, I think that Dybala it's a little bit confusing where his position is or where he's going to fit into this team. Not to say that he's not part of Juventus, but just a little question mark has been thrown out of what's going to happen with Dybala and with the voices of Mbappe that Juventus clearly want. To me, Agnelli made it clear after signing Ronaldo. He said, we want to sign the next Ronaldo, this time when he's 25. To me, the best young player in the world is Mbappe.
But well, let me ask you something. How old is Dybala?
One second.
How old is Dybala?
Dybala's 25.
That's what I'm saying. You
But-
got it right there.
That's a good point. I'm just throwing it out. I'll throw it out there and then we'll talk about it. Agnelli also said 5 years ago, we want to be able to, at the level to be able to sign someone like Cristiano Ronaldo. 5 years later, he did just that. And I think that Juventus would look at an Mbappe if potentially Dybala would leave. So that's where our question arises as to what's going to happen. Me personally, I think that Mbappe is a very sought-out player by a lot of huge teams, but I think there's a lot of pull from Juventus, especially, his idol was Ronaldo, the possibility of working there, the marketability. He's going to cost a lot of money. Could Juventus do, again, this is just hypothetical, a Dybala money swap for Mbappe? Could you see Dybala leaving with Mbappe going to Juventus? What do you think, Peter? We'll get you because you didn't give your opinion when we were talking last
Well,
time.
you said it best, right? So 5 years ago, Agnelli said that he was going to be able to get Ronaldo, right? 5 years later, he gets Ronaldo. Dybala is 25 right now. 5 years, he'll be 30. And in 5 years, Mbappe will be around 25.
Yeah.
So it could be that, there's jokes aside. But, I mean, listen, Mbappe is a great player. We've seen it in the World Cup. For his age, he's amazing. Speed, skill, precision. He can do it all. Dybala, likewise. I think he's a striker that has some creativity that you really don't see in a lot of players. He's very crafty. He's very, with his left foot, free kicks, all around great player. Maybe just marketing-wise, you want to get Mbappe or you want to, because he's the next level player. But I don't really see. I think I kind of agree with Antonio. Right now, there's no real reason to get rid of Dybala to get Mbappe.
No, I think right now there's not. What do you think?
I think the biggest challenge for Allegri, I think Allegri has done an amazing job with Juventus. I think he's the winners coach. He's won more than
he is.
Guardiola, Mourinho, and all those guys. The last 4 championships, the last 4 Coppa Italia, plus a Super Cup. So the guy is doing amazing. And also, I think he's done a great job with the players, handling them. He's got 22 national team players, and he brings them in and out in a very, very good job. The most challenged player is Dybala. Where do I put Dybala? If I put him a forward, they put him a forward once in the Champions League, the guy scored 3 goals. The last year he scored a lot.
Young boys.
The last year he scored a lot of goals in the beginning, and then and the second half of the season he didn't score anymore. This year, the beginning of the season, he hasn't scored. I think he's got 2 goals if I remember correctly. So where do I put Dybala? He's not a forward because he's not scoring enough. If I put him on the wing, if I put him behind the 2 forwards, do I put Ronaldo up there and I put Mandzukic there? I put him behind, but he hasn't done anything with Ronaldo. We all thought, hey, 1-2 with Ronaldo, this 2. Who's going to stop the 1-2, Ronaldo and Dybala? It's not happening. So where do I put him? Do I put him on the left wing? Do I put him on the right wing? So you try him on the left wing, right wing, behind the forwards. And once you're far away from the goal, you got to defend. Mm-hmm. And he's a little bit lightweight defending. He was talking about midfield. Forget about midfield. Midfield, you need people like Matuidi that fight like crazy and they win every ball. He's not that type of player, and you don't want Dybala to be that type of player because of all the skills that he's got and the finesse that he has, and the creativity that he has. You want him to be as close to the goal as possible, but now he's a little bit farther away from the goal. Allegri publicly said that he likes that. He said, yeah, now he's doing what I'm asking him to do. So they're scoring goals, between Ronaldo and the midfielders and Mandzukic.
Mm-hmm. Not that many.
Well, they're scoring goals. They're winning the game. They're scoring enough to win the game.
They're winning dirty. They're winning dirty.
So what do I do with Dybala? That it's a big question mark. The position is very delicate position. Is not a truly forward. He's not a midfielder. He's somewhere in between.
He's like an attacking midfielder.
He's an attacking
Or second
midfielder.
striker.
He's a number 10. But the number 10 is not a Del Piero. Is not a Maradona. Is not a Messi. Is not all the traditional number 10 is not at that level. So he's in between. So it's a very challenging. So what do? Do you wait a little bit more? You give him more of a chance? Now Allegri is trying to put him every game so to see
Dybala.
whether he improves and he can really, we can see the magic between Ronaldo and Dybala. I haven't seen him yet, so it's a big question mark, but it's a good problem to have because the guy is so talented. I mean, this kid,
talent-wise,
you know,
I mean,
he's very talented.
Yeah,
He's
but
very
when
good.
does talented have to show it on the field? Like you said, you're saying that he's not at the caliber of Maradona, Baggio, all these guys, or
Well, he's
his
not
position-wise?
No,
is
he's not. He's not at that level.
Yeah. Is
Everyb-
Mbappe at that level?
Everybody,
Or could
everybody
Mbappe
thought-
reach that level?
Definitely
And
be that
Allegri
level.
said it publicly. He goes, Dybala and Neymar are gonna replace Ronaldo and Messi. I don't know if he's not. He's a little bit behind. I thought that he was gonna do it because of the amount of goals he was scoring before. Now he's not. So he's not at that level.
Is
Marco,
it just timing
I'm
wise?
going to answer your
Yeah,
question.
keep
What
going.
makes you think that Real Madrid, in the position that they are right now, they're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
They have people, in rumor to leave, Modric,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
a lot of people. What makes you think that Perez is going to just be looking at all of the situation with Mbappe, with Dybala, and all the stuff?
He's
It's
got a
not-
lot of options.
The guy is
got
going
Neymar,
to
Mbappe,
snatch
and-
two or three of the best players, and forget about Juventus unless you guys paying top dollar. This Mbappe is not coming to Juventus. I like to see Dybala leaving from Juventus because you guys are not really valuing that much, including Allegri, and go to Real Madrid, and then Real Madrid beating the league.
Why do you want our good player from Serie A to leave Serie A?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You
'Cause
guys
Milan
not
can't
valuing
get him.
Juventus is not valuing too much Dybala. Most of the time comes from the bench.
I mean,
He's not giving too
he's
much
playing.
time.
He's playing a lot.
The
You
guy
also have
is
to
one
earn
of the
your
best
spot.
midfielder on the world. Why you guys are not valuing Dybala as much as you should?
I mean,
why are you looking for Mbappe?
I don't think that it's not about valuing. I think that Juventus, everyone has the opportunity to play. Even players who we say, Mattia De Sciglio is not a player that we would say he's world class, one of the best. But when you practice well and when you come on the field and you listen and you do well, you get to play. So I don't think it's Juventus is not valuing him. Is Dybala going to keep stepping up where he could play the position? Even a few years ago, we said Mandzukic was going to be done. Now Mandzukic is a key role for Juventus with Ronaldo there. Maybe, in 2 months we could say, wow, look, Ronaldo, Mandzukic, Dybala, they're all linking up. The conversation is gone. It's just a
At the end of-
hypothetical
listen.
situation where, like Peter said, and I would agree with him, I think that Mbappe is going to be running the football world like Messi and Ronaldo. I think that he does get to that level, and it's will Dybala be that, or will he just stay a very good player? I think that's just a question mark right now.
I think right
and we
now,
don't know.
Right now for Dybala, just a rough patch. Every player has a rough patch. Look at Higuain for Juve last season. He's been doing that.
Exactly. But Higuain
Yeah.
is not
That next
the
level
world
player, yeah.
class.
Okay,
He's
I
a
could see
very,
that.
very good player.
But
And I
not-
think many occasions he's shown why he's just a very, very good player
Yeah.
and why he's not the best number 9.
Nonetheless, though, every player goes through this kind of thing. And just for the Mbappe thing, I think PSG is going to be asking a lot more than 100 million on Dybala. I think they're going to be asking for a lot more cash than that, just because Mbappe has what it takes to become the next great, and they're not going to
Mike,
lowball
this
on
is
that.
what is going to happen. If Juventus goes to the final of the Champions League and they don't win, then that's what they're going to do. They're going to make a big move.
Also, who we didn't talk about, another team that's kind of weird right now is Bayern Munich. Big dog, hasn't spent big or hasn't made any big purchases recently. They're not really performing in the league, in Champions League. I can't remember the last time they've really done well. They could be a team that we say that has money. We know the Germans, they really do well. Who are they going to buy? Are they going to want a Dybala? Are they going to want an Icardi? Who can
That's true.
Bayern Munich
Marco,
buy?
that's why they're getting rid of all of those old timers. Ribéry is gonna go. Robben is gonna go. Probably Lewandowski is going to be on the market. Either go to Real Madrid or something.
Lewandowski's
he
still
has
good.
time. He still has
Listen
time.
to this.
Still very
Those
good.
are all washed out players that they're done already. 32, 33 years old. You
So that means that
finished.
Bayern Munich need to buy.
That's why you're
Right?
starting to get all of those free trades. Robben, what's his name? Godin is like a free trade almost. You know, you're getting a free pass or whatever. Free transfer. I'm sorry. The transfer now. No, it's a transfer. You know, go from the bus A to the cross town. So this is what's happening. When you reach in a certain age, 31, 32 years old, and some of the body, you know, pain,
Yeah.
they're starting to take, you know, a toll on you, then they're starting to come up with all of those discussions. Great players, you never trade them. Chiellini is going to be the next one on the block. You
Pirlo.
watch.
So what about
Pirlo,
Ronaldo?
Ronaldo, it's an exception, but Ronaldo, I can say an extra year, 2 year top, is done. That
Wait,
guy's done too.
Are we talking about the same person?
Cristiano
Yes.
Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
CR7, 1 more year, 2 years top, is done.
Would you like to make a bet on
Anytime, I'll bet you anything.
You bet me
Maybe.
anything.
Yeah.
What should we bet?
Whatever.
You said he was not going to score any goals.
Yeah.
He said not even 10 goals.
Yeah, who's the leading scorer?
Yeah, but
You said,
against who he scored the goal?
But you know who he's gonna score the goals against. You said he
You
still
know the
wasn't gonna
teams.
do it.
Anyway, one last thing about Dybala, real quick. After the World Cup, Argentina played a few friendly games, and Messi did not go, and they put Dybala. He really did not perform in those friendly games. You know, they trying to see whether he could fit because the previous coach said, "Oh, Dybala and Messi gonna play together." So they got Dybala, they got him his position, and he really did not perform. But if I was a coach, I would not give up on Dybala. I mean, the guy he has talent.
He's got game.
Speaking about
It's not too
coaches,
much.
last two things I want to say. First is, you know, we talk about coaches. There's a little bit of a question mark too, and a little bit of voices saying that Agnelli already has an agreement next season with Zidane to go to Juventus.
That would be a great signing.
If it's true, if it's not true, some people say if Allegri wins the Champions League, okay, then he would want to go. If Allegri doesn't win the Champions League, then he would want to go, whatever it would be. What do we think about Zidane? Real quick, I don't want to get too deep into it because it's hypothetical.
Regardless, if Allegri wins the Champions League, he should be leaving like Mourinho did with Inter because it's going to be over for him. And if he doesn't win, I think it's the perfect replacement, Zidane, for him. Zidane, between Zidane and Allegri, forget about it. Zidane,
I
he's
think
got
it's about
miles
manage.
on
I think that
Allegri.
Zidane and Allegri both manage players well.
Yeah.
I think that they both command a lot of respect. And I think even Paratici was saying the difference between Conte and Allegri has been managing the players. And Conte was a guy who needed to like rile you up in the locker room, where Allegri was just like, guys, calm down. You know how to play. And I think Zidane has that effect with him at Real Madrid, where he had the best players in the world. There's not too much you need to do with them. Just like Juventus, the best players, you say, guys, go out there, you do this. Of course, you need to coach, you need to command respect, and you need to do certain things. But is Juventus kind of leading up to where that Real Madrid was, where Zidane won everything?
Is Zidane good enough based on the 2 seasons he was there? Yes, he won the Champions League. Did he win? Maybe he won La Liga too.
Yes,
But we're
but
gonna base
isn't
him
it-
just for a couple of seasons of coaching.
Yeah, but isn't that Real Madrid very similar to where Juventus are right now?
I can
They were
see
all the
that.
best in their positions, and they just needed a guy who can manage
But
them
what
and
if
give
it
them
was
more of
just
a
like
winning
a
mentality.
1 or 2 time thing? Like you're gonna.
It was a 3. Didn't he win 3?
3.
He won
three.
3. Nobody's ever done that. No, not just 3.
in a row.
3. Nobody's
In a
ever
row.
won 2 in a
One
row.
after the other.
He won
Oh,
3
they
in
won
a
2 in a row.
Who won
Now-
2 in a row?
Inter.
Champions League? Oh, okay. Maybe it was the first time ever. Nobody's ever won 3, right?
3, no.
Wait,
3
with
a long
Zidane.
time ago. Real Madrid won 5, I think, in the 50s.
No, nobody won 5 in
They
a
won
row.
something in the
Wait,
50s.
5 straight?
Not 5 straight, but they won a lot.
I don't think so. Anyway.
I'll tell you the reasons why.
Modern soccer.
Modern
No,
Champions
right.
League.
Marco, the reasons why they're putting Zidane on the paper into
Linking
the
him?
discussion is because the style is so different. Allegri is always nervous on the sideline, walks up and down, screams out and there. He kicks the water bottle. Zidane, very quiet. It's just we're looking at it. He will say, hey, couple words, but no more than that. We'll just give them a look. End of the story. Maybe on the locker room, he will say something that nobody will know.
Spalletti's very similar to Zidane on the sideline, right?
No, Spalletti, forget about it.
What is Spalletti on
no.
the sideline? Isn't he very calm? He's like this.
Yeah, right.
The point is
Spalletti.
that a coach, every coach is different. Every player is different. So there's no right way and there's no wrong way. Everyone has a certain style. Zidane, based on the player that he was, he's able to command a lot of respect. So I think when he went to Real Madrid that year, when he took over Rafa Benitez, he was able to command respect with all these
Rafa
players.
Benitez or Ancelotti?
Was it Benitez or
Ancelotti.
Ancelotti.
Was
Ancelotti?
Yeah. I think so.
I thought Ancelotti went already to.
I think
Bayern.
wasn't Ancelotti.
Ancelotti was a Bayern.
He was assistant.
Benitez.
He left- he
Rafa
left.
Benitez went back.
Was
I
that
don't
Real
remember.
Madrid?
Ancelotti left Real
Zidane
Madrid
was
to
the
go to Bayern.
assistant to
For
Carlo
Ancelotti.
Ancelotti.
And then when Ancelotti left, did Zidane take over? Or they brought Benitez
He
back.
did to cover.
But it doesn't matter. Sorry, I was just
No,
confused.
but I'm just saying he just took over, and he commanded respect. He got the players, and they listened to him. So I think he can do the same thing with Juventus. Also adds an extra stardom to Juventus because a lot of people adore Zidane as far as a player, world class player.
He made history
So
with
it
the
creates
Juventus, Zidane,
creates spotlight on Juventus again.
Last thing, let's conclude with we spoke about, I think, for weeks, Quagliarella, the idea of Quagliarella in the national team. And, he scored, 8 in a row now? 9 in a row? I think it's 9 in a row. Records that haven't been broken in 15 years, 20 years. And Mancini said if Quagliarella keeps scoring like he is, come, I think, March is when they have the qualifiers, that he will call up Quagliarella as long as Quagliarella knows that he's not the future of the national team. He said as long as he understands that we're just going to be calling it up for right now and he's not the long-term solution, we'll call Quagliarella up. Something that I think we all spoke about over here.
I like the idea. Yep.
I think I'm sold on the idea to.
We all started.
Finally.
Do you remember how we started? We started this with.
Yeah, but it was only a matter of.
we having problems scoring with the national team. You bring him, you put him on the bench, you bring him in, or you make him start a couple of games. Who knows? It gets you to qualify, and then you're buying some time for this for the youth and the young players to grow.
The goals that he scores are just phenomenal. I want to see it. I want to see it happen just for that. I think that we got a lot of guys that are a little bit of question marks. Help teach the kids. He's not going to Milan anymore. He signed for Sampdoria.
Listen, the only thing that I'm upset about this podcast that we had today when I heard your father saying the price of Donnarumma, $40 million. That guy's
those newspapers
how
said
much
it.
is he
the
worth?
value.
200 million. $200 million. $200 million.
What kind of dollar? Indian dollar?
Pesos. Pesos.
Lira.
That guy is going to put Buffon to his shame.
Ooh,
Buffon's playing at
easy.
40 years old at,
Okay?
in
That
Champions League.
kid.
Donnarumma's
for the
still not in
size that he
Champions
has,
By the way, I did not say that. Is on the front page of yesterday
What I'm
Gazzetta.
saying is that
So
you
get
read
upset.
it.
Get
But
upset.
you read it.
Get upset
But
with
you read it.
You read it.
Send them an email, Antonio.
Okay.
Maybe Antonio Donnarumma.
Don't shoot
That's
the
what
messenger.
probably they were talking about, the brother, not him. Hey, by the way, there is another Donnarumma that is capocannoniere of the Serie B.
Yeah.
So these
They're
guys,
not related. They're not related.
They're not related,
No, they're
but
not.
Brescia?
The last name.
they have to be related somehow. Somehow,
time.
we got the same
This
last
guy is
name.
5'5", the other one.
Yeah,
That's-
definitely not related.
What do you mean 5'5"?
5'5". The other guys,
Short.
the two Donnarummas
He's like
on Milan
Ryan.
are 6 feet.
All right, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
He didn't grow as
Maybe he
much.
took from the mother side instead of
okay,
the father
maybe.
side. But he's a scorer. Somebody's a winner. That's what the
He's the
Donnarumma.
top goal scorer of
The
Serie B.
Donnarumma last name, says winners. Okay.
Say it.
What if they won? Name one trophy that they won.
Our hearts.
Winners,
Mira
winners
Moretti.
on their position.
Trofea Biramoretti.
Winners on their
Berlusconi
position.
Cup. Berlusconi Cup.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you got the Super Coppa Wednesday.
Wait.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, boy.
Especially if it goes to the penalty kicks. That
We-
will see.
Oh!
That would be nice.
We had to just let you guys in because you couldn't win your way
Yeah,
there. So we're just
there you
like,
go.
we'll throw a Milan to get some money.
Oh yeah, we'll throw some crumbs, right?
Suso's not playing. He's out.
Yeah, that's why you look happy.
I'm not. I don't care. For this is your first chance to win a trophy, so you
We
should
will
take
see.
it very
We
seriously.
will see.
I think that Gattuso is gonna really try for this. This is like your Scudetto, your Champions League.
Is Chiesa playing, by the way?
Probably.
Why wouldn't he?
Maybe.
Why don't you save him? It's not an important person. Put him on the bench.
You would love that. I thought Chiesa said that he's not gonna score anything.
Well, listen.
So why are you scared to play
you
him
guys
again?
said that you brought him just to sell T-shirts and things like that.
Not just. That's an addition.
Oh, in addition to
In
that.
addition
Okay,
to the
thought
fact.
I heard wrong.
Anyway, good talk. A lot of transfers. A lot of good players possibly coming to Serie A. Hopefully they stay. They retain. Serie A still not back until what? What is it? The 14th?
The 19th.
The 19th?
We still got some time.
So we got some time, so we had to get a little podcast in. Thank you for everybody for always sending in. A lot of people sent in these rumors. They gave us stuff to comment on. As always, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. If you're listening on audio, you gotta rate it.
5 stars, guys. Don't forget.
And we have them in the comments too if you want to listen to them.
Yes. So, guys, as always, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao,
Bye.
ragazzi.
Ciao, ciao.
guys.
Oh, my legs.
No questions?
I gotta run.